And let's go for it. Go. We're back on the Ride 950 Lounge, still with the best team in radio, and we have a special guest. He's an actor. He hails from Long Island, New York. You've seen him in some of your favorite shows, Power, Luke Cage, to name a few. He's now a writer and director. He's doing so many things. We're going to spend a little time with him and find out what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back in his physical first time on 950 Lounge. The superstar in the making, Jermel Howard. What's going on, sir?
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
Nah, thank you.
Finally, long time coming.
No doubt, man. I know we've been moving, and Rodeo had a day where he couldn't make it, and he had the swine flu or something. I don't know what's going on.
It's called the job.
It's called the job flu. That's the job flu.
Bullets and onward. But man, thank you so much for joining us today, man. Again, like I said, I've started to see you in a lot of different places. It's going from those independent films, making your mark and doing things now to a more bigger productions. Talk about your journey, because it's a unique one. I'd love for you to share that with our audience.
Oh, absolutely. My journey was it was a little different from a lot of people's, because I came up in music. And I was basically being robbed. I didn't know the business. I was just happy to be signed. Actually, Fat Joe's uncle was my manager at the time, and I was just touring with people, and I wasn't making any money, so I was still in the street, and I had to make a decision. I had twin daughters at that time, and I was like, I got to figure out something, so I need to make it ain't math, and I'm just touring with people not making no money. And I met a guy backstage. I was opening up for Fat Joe, and I met a guy backstage. He was like, yo, you got a good look, man. You should try to get into the film and acting thing. You got character, and I never thought about it until then. And I was like, eh. And I was in the city, like a month after that, I was in the city in downtown Manhattan, and I seen an open audition sign for a Burger King commercial.
Wow.
And I was like, let me just go in here and see.
hungry.
Right, let me try to see. And I walked in and I booked it, and I was like, oh, I booked it. Wow. And it changed my life.
Without any acting experience?
None.
Just all savvy?
Just went in there with what I had, and I booked it. And it ended up being a national commercial. And I made like $30,000 off the commercial.
Quick question with you.
Beautiful.
A couple years ago, we had Chico Benjamin on.
Okay.
He talked about a unique story about, he didn't know what, having a union. He had no clue about that. And they used to laugh at him, like, wait a minute, you not part of the union.
No.
SAG, you don't got no SAG.
Yeah.
So how do you walk into a commercial, a national commercial, no representation, brand new, no pictures, no nothing? How did that happen? That's curious. I'm curious.
Well, for one, the union give you like 2 waivers before, so you're allowed to actually do 2 union projects before you, even get into being in the union. Right. So it was a matter of, it's an open call, and they were looking for talent. I guess they might have, when people do open calls, usually they
want new talent.
Yeah, they already had a audition and it ain't working. Like, let's just see what's out there, So it was just I call divine timing, being aligned, and I look at that as almost like a river. I try to teach my mother this; she just does not get it. But it's almost like a river, man. And when you align yourself with the flow of things, instead of going against what the flow is trying to take you to, like my mom, as an example, keep getting no for this job and no for this, and I'm like, you trying to go work for somebody. Maybe the universe is aligning you to do something else, and you keep banging at that door, and it's not going to work. So flow with what it's pushing you to do, and that's what I did. I just followed it. I got a short learning curve. So somebody saying, "Yo, you should," and it lines up. Oh, open audition. You know what? I'm going in. I'm not walking past this. Yeah. And then things just line up, and you end up in that flow. So I believe
when that flow started to happen, did you say, hey, you know what, this is now my new wave and music's got to take a backseat? Was music just done after this situation? Or?
Yes, it was, because I believe in, just like anytime somebody's walking up some steps, it's like, okay, I walked up the 3rd step and I get into the top step. Yeah. You're not jumping back down to the 3rd step. It's like those. I done did that already, Now, now it plays a part where I can actually still use it because now I can bring it into soundtracks for films that I'm doing. So like for instance, the I Got Problems film, I got my song featured from BET. I got my song on the soundtrack. And 2 other projects, I got songs on the soundtrack. In the Salt and Pepper movie, where I play Tret Chad, I got a song called Push It, but it's like, today's, drill beat, and, it's dope.
Not the same way they
No. Shout out to Pepper. Pepper is my homegirl.
Doing the OPP in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. That was it was a,
Like, you know me, right?
yeah, you definitely know me.
Definitely know me.
That story was crazy, man. I learned a lot from shooting that too.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, we're talking Jermel Howard. actor
Yes.
extraordinaire. So again, now as you now starting to do your own things, adding your own projects, what's the pushback now? Because you're somebody who's certainly made a stamp. You've been on some of, I would say, some of the hottest, shows out.
Indeed.
That people just like. I know, like we just had the state senator. Let me say that, and you're like, wow, I know him. I know that guy from somewhere. Yeah. So how does that play out now? Do you feel like you be typecast? Do you want to try to move into roles that maybe people have never seen Jermel do? Is it a situation now where it's like about growth because you've already established? So what's the next step on that?
That's a good question. Yes. So now, a lot of people is used to seeing me do a lot of killing and doing all that. I don't mind that. I don't mind that.
Who want to die today?
Right. Let's do it. But
Trouble.
I do have to feed my creative nature and do the things that are on my mind the most, which is I'm heavily into sci-fi. I'm a big Marvel fan and stuff. Clearly, I was in Marvel Luke Cage. So, but I want to have the powers, So what I did was I created a show called Demisi, which is awesome show. It's almost like if Blade met Law and Order. It's super dope. And a lot of people are interested in the project. These are things that I do when I'm not getting the call for the Marvel role or for whatever. So you got to create your own. Absolutely. Yeah. You got to create your own. Sometimes they don't see you in that position. If I walk into a doctor's office like this and I'm trying to get the doctor job, they might look and be like, yeah, there's a guy that kind of fits the role,
Perception.
Exactly. Yeah, so you got to change that. Sometimes you got to just cut all the stuff off in the background, and then you got to change that. Yeah. And it's easy to do, man, because 50, a good friend of mine, 50 Cent, of course, and he sat with me. I showed him a bunch of stuff. And he just was like, what you waiting on? Right. How he said it. He'd be like, how he said it. He'd be like, well, what you waiting on? You got the perspective. I don't know. You got the team. So I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, you Jermel Howard. Basically, he was like, you're you, bro. Like, what are you doing? So
he's a fantastic person to lean on. You talking about somebody reinventing himself on a whole nother level. I mean,
100%, man. 100%.
Like, you probably knows better than me. They pulling the power. He taking it somewhere else. Like,
absolutely.
That's power to do that in media.
Indeed. He's a big brother to me, man. And no matter what happens or where we go, he's always been the same. I've had times I'm sitting in the city and I'm like, yo, I gotta show this idea to somebody, and I just hit him like, listen, I gotta show you something. I got like a dope idea. I gotta show you something. Where you at?
Yeah.
I'm right across the street from Penn Station at the bar right here. I'll be there in a minute. Yeah, all right. You ain't fully. Oh, it's fit. Oh, he pulled up.
It's a window shop.
Pulls right up, bro. I swear. It's like the dopest thing I've ever seen in Hollywood.
Owe him no money. That's all.
Yeah. One more money. Yeah. I make sure I pay out all my stuff, bro.
We ain't got no problem.
I owe nobody no money.
I'll take a check on money or I don't need cash.
Right. So he's super dope, man. He's been one of my big brothers, and that process alone is something that, having somebody like that helps you get that push. Like, all right, I don't have to wait. That he just confirmed it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, what you waiting? And to have somebody that powerful say, yo, what you waiting on? You're Jermel. Is just like, all right, let me start. So I end up shooting Demisi. I shot the pilot for it, and now I'm shopping it. It's a lot of people interested in it. Super dope project, sci-fi.
So when you're somebody, like I said, obviously talking to you and getting to know you a little bit through these couple interviews, you're somebody obviously, you ain't fearing the unknown. You just, I'm cracking the glass. If I get cut, I just put a Band-Aid on and I keep moving.
Keep moving.
So have you ever been in a situation with now these bigger productions, Power, Luke Cage, where you sit back and you like, because obviously it's always competition, right?
Indeed.
So somebody's like, yeah, sizing each other up.
That's right.
From your background and your grit and your hustle, have you ever been in a situation where you felt like, man, I'm gonna pull this one off. This is baby Denzel or something, man. Like, I'm gonna pull this one off.
Yes.
You had this mantra about yourself that you will not lose.
Yep.
The whole page. But has there ever been a time where you felt like, wow, I gotta pull this one out.
I gotta do this. Yeah, absolutely. We were shooting the movie The First Purge, and during that time, like, the Purges are all huge franchises, right. And so they flew me to Buffalo, and we starting to shoot the movie.
A great city, right?
Yeah.
The Purge, real life.
Yeah, right.
Don't respect the Buffalo. I love you guys.
No, Buffalo. I'm not gonna lie. It was empty to me. Like, it was like nobody
that's
there.
How it always is.
Yeah. So we starting to go over blocking for the film, for the scenes that we gonna start shooting, and the director called me to the room, and he said, "Yo, look, we changing this. Change the script." Wow. Right there. So now that we're about to shoot something in a few hours, I done rehearsed it a certain way.
Right.
This is why most teachers say, don't rehearse it and lock yourself in. Yeah. So, but I rehearsed it a certain way, so we get to blocking it where we just going over it, and I don't know it, right? Because I just got it, so I'm like, and so I'm messing up during the blocking, just rehearsing, and he's like, Gerard is McMurray. He's like super dope director. Now he pulled me to the side. He said, "Yo, we got Universal right here, Universal Studios. We got Blumhouse." Right here, production right here.
You better get this right.
Get it done. Yeah. I said, you know what? All right, yeah, I'm gonna get it done. I said, don't worry. Once it's time to shoot and action, don't worry about it. I'll be ready. It don't matter what happens in this rehearsal. So
when the lights are brightest,
I'm gonna shoot because that's when we are our greatest. It's when we press people, kids. You had the report due. You ain't do the report till the day before it was due. It's like you had a week to do it, but and you get your best work done. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be pushed to some type of limit to see what you're capable of and to see your greatness. So I was ready. As soon as they said action, I did it and I killed it. And he was just like, yo, this is dope. This is dope. So he kept all the stuff that we did in that scene as well. So that's when you pretty much show who you truly are,
Yeah, so now one thing I want to know. So you did a lot of projects, got your face out in many different places and everything else.
Right.
Now, when you sit back in your home and you look back on your time and your career, what do you think?
What do I think in terms of
like saying, wow, like you was starting off as in the rap thing, not getting paid.
I was getting ripped off
then
by Fat Joe's uncle, and
now
allegedly we won't. Yeah.
I still work, man.
I'm saying, but now you're looking back at things of like all the stuff that you did, all the actors that you worked with, and all the production companies. So now you look back at that.
When I look back, to be honest, man, it's surreal to me because my family has to keep reminding me, like, do you know that, like, you're with 50 Cent on a normal basis and you're doing this and you done work with Denzel and you done did all, and I look back like, yeah, I did do that, didn't I? Because I'm so looking at what's next. I gotta, and I'm
grounded mind.
Yeah, I gotta keep, and I got something else to do, and I got something else, and it's really important that we start to actually sit in that, step back and sit in that for a minute and look at what you've done and give yourself the flowers, because those moments actually attract more of those moments. So learning that now, I slow down. You know what I'm saying? I hit the slow motion button, and it's like, dang, and especially when I'm filming. While I'm filming, I like to sit in it. Like you know, and I move a little slower because I'm gonna enjoy every moment of this. I'm in the hotel. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking, I'm meditating, I'm doing all of that and creating these moments. Because when you go back in memory, you actually attracted more of those moments. You know, if it was authentic to you and you had enough emotion with it, you attract more of those moments. So I learned how to actually now just dive into that imagination and go back and think and recall all of those moments that was so dope. I got so many stories of with some of the super dopest people I've ever met, you know, and largest people I've ever met, Denzel, and I got stories for days with me and him. I got stories for days with 50. I got stories for days with Jodie Foster.
Was Denzel like Alonzo and Training Day with you?
At one point, I thought it was gonna go that way. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I was shooting. We were shooting American Gangster, and so there's a scene when he gets out of jail, and when he gets out of jail, Russell Crowe picks him up, and then they start walking down 135th. But in the movie, they stopped it right there, but they have an extended version.
Yeah, that's an extended version.
So they walking down 135th, and he bumps into me, and he's like, "Oh, here come the new thugs now," and I push him, and start talking crap to him. But before that, I'm standing there, and Denzel is looking at me while there's no cameras going. We just talking, and I'm talking to some dude, and Denzel like over there, he's looking at me, and I'm like, is Denzel staring at me like, what?
Did I take his last piece of chicken at lunch?
Is he going Lonzo on me? Like, so I moved out.
Glad it wasn't the puffy thing.
No,
Look.
no Diddy. So
It's a family program.
yeah, it's a family program. family.
I ain't taking nothing.
So I moved to the side, and he was still staring in the same spot, and that's when God said, okay, he's in. He's in, yeah. He's looking through me. It ain't even. I'm not here, and I actually use that to this day. Like once it's time to lock in, I'm locked. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter what anybody is saying or doing. They trying to crack a joke. I'm not laughing for real.
Right.
If I have to be in a certain mode. So I picked up a lot from Denzel, man. Super dope, and you know he's the GOAT. He's basically whatever era you from. He's the Jordan or the LeBron. To me, it's
Did you ever get
LeBron.
stuck into that mold like that before?
Yes.
Character?
Yes. Method acting. Yeah, it's dangerous. Will Smith another friend of mine that I get good advice from, but he talks about it a lot, that he got stuck in something. But just like that, I was shooting Marvel, Luke Cage, and there's a scene where I kill my friend, like in the first episode, as soon as it come on. And we get into it with Cottonmouth, and I robbed his gun deal, and I kill like 5 people. But then my friend is like, yo, Cottonmouth's gonna know that it's me and you that did it because I'm not at work. I'm not at the bar. And he gonna know. And I was like, yeah, you right. And I shot him. And in that moment, I was stuck in, I just shot my friend.
Right.
And I was so locked in it, and I felt like I really just killed my friend.
So
it was so realistic.
You didn't probably go out to hang out at the club.
No, I didn't.
No, because
I'm in character. I might hurt somebody.
I had to reprogram my brain after
in
that.
The Power, y'all had the white lady, and
Yes.
y'all was like, Tariq comes in the room like, what are y'all doing? Called the name, and he was like, well, he know our name, and y'all just shot.
And I shot the lady. The exact same thing happened that time too. If you notice in that scene, after I shot the lady, how I was blank, and they was like, yo, Tariq ran out, and I was like, oh, Tariq, and then I snapped out of it. I was blank after that. These things look real, man. Like these things look so real. And if you were a regular human being, psychologically, it's gonna mess with you a little bit. Like, oh, did I just kill somebody? Like it just feels like that real. So, the directors love that because they're taking it like, that's the shot. Got it. Cut.
You in the game,
you know.
Because I think we talked about it. LL was the first.
In Too Deep,
and he played a drug dealer. And
Absolutely.
he said for 2 weeks he could not go home.
Indeed.
He had to stay in a hotel because he had to depart the line.
You gotta actually cleanse that out, you know, because you're not that person.
Detox.
And there you go. You got to detox. After that scene with Empower, after I did that, I literally I did the same thing. Like I didn't really go nowhere for a few days. I felt a little weird energy. Right. I shot her in the head, man. It's like
she said, I'm not gonna tell. I'm
like, yeah. Wow, and yeah, that was.
Even I said he gotta die now. He gotta die.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
8 miles, gotta go.
He is not gonna be in next season at all.
We're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back. I want to dive into like the state of Black Hollywood. A lot going on again, and your thoughts and opinions as you're rising to meteoric rights. Again,
absolutely.
His name is Jermel Howard. The show is 9 Feet Lounge, and it's booked by O. We'll take a quick break. Come on back. See you in a second. We're back on the ride, 9 Feet Lounge, still joined by the best team in radio, our special guest, actor, producer, director extraordinaire, Jermel Howard.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And again, we've been chopping up again. And you're from that, all beef. What's Burger King?
Two all beef patties.
That's McDonald's.
That's McDonald's. Yeah, you definitely got fired from Burger King.
Route me out and Rippy. But you've come a long way, and some of the names you worked with, there's actors who probably wouldn't see that in a lifetime.
Indeed.
As we are now in a new era, like technology, X, everybody's a media reporter or YouTube, everybody's breaking stories. How do you kind of balance Jermel as the person to Jermel as the actor? Because there's a lot of people out here, it's just like, oh, that's the guy who's killing people in movies. It's like he's doing a role.
Yep.
But how do you balance that? And where people say, hey, you know what, the charming individual, well-spoken individual that's sitting on his couch right now is not the person you've seen in Power.
Indeed. I stay grounded with my family a lot, and they keep me grounded. And when I say family, I don't just mean relatives. Like I got some friends that are family, and it's a big difference. There's some relatives that I'm not close to, so I stay grounded with my family a lot. And also I do a lot of hobbies that just keep me centered. For one, I meditate, I dig into self, a lot. I search a lot for truth that keeps the mind occupied and keeps you grounded. Absolutely.
Have you had any issues personally with any particular family member? In regards to your career? Sometimes, everybody's got their judgments, right?
Yeah. Yes. So I got a little brother everybody got the family member that's always in some crazy trouble every 2 minutes. Yeah. You the little brother.
It's reverse in our family.
It's reverse. So my brother, instead of looking at the things that I've done and taking it and learning from it, he's always in trouble. So again, I was in trouble around that age when he was younger. So I was hoping that he would learn from me and just listen and whatever. But to this day, now that he's in his 30s and he looks, I don't think he actually ever measured who I am for real. And he kind of like, you can't do this no more. You ain't. I'm like, I'm not going to that bar over there, bro. Like my face.
You ain't no Killer J. Reed.
Yeah, like I can't go to the same bar where we used to have fights and stuff. Like I can't do that. Oh, you different out here, You Hollywood, right? I said, yeah.
I want to remain there.
Absolutely. I'm not going anywhere if that's the case. Yeah, I like this. So my brother has always been that. Like we have always had conflict. I think that we're gonna make this a psychological situation now. I think that my disposition has always been his problem, and that's that kind of like
a form of jealousy. Or?
Yeah, kind of. I guess, but it's more about when people are like that. It's more about themselves of what they're not doing. So it's once they achieve something that they're not doing, it's not about you anymore. So I wouldn't say it's direct jealousy. It's more like just his disposition. It's like what am I not accomplishing? He's
why
doing.
him?
There you go.
It should be
Not
me.
me.
Yeah, and it could be anybody can be in that same thing. It's just I'm in this direct proximity. Like that's my brother, and he sees this. People are coming to him. Hey, your brother, and you know, and you not.
How Ray J
I'm
felt
here.
many years ago.
There you go. There you.
Where's Jermel at the barbecue? I'm here.
I'm here too. I could cook wings.
No, I make your plate. What if I make my plate?
Give me a burnt piece of coal. That's for Jermel. That's good.
Exactly. You know.
Is he one of those people who actually like ask for advice, knowing that you're coming from a certain place, you've accomplished certain things? Is he someone that comes to you?
No, actually, he.
At all?
It's the opposite because you got to think it's masculine energy.
Gotcha.
So it's a person that's like the total opposite. I don't need
ego.
you. I don't need to do
Yeah.
that. But you need me.
Mm-hmm.
And here, by the way, try this, try that, try this. And the person will go the opposite left because it's clashing energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate, but that's one person in my family that's a relative that I always clash with, and it's just because of his disposition. I have nothing against my brother. I've always brought him along with me and things and try to introduce him to people. Hey, what do you like to do? I find out he loved cars. Okay, so why don't you try to get into something NASA? I know 4 people that race in NASA. You should try to talk it up with them and see if you can get into that. Oh yeah, I'll be all right. I'm good. All right.
You're
one of
like the
those.
Eddie Charlie Murphy type.
There you go. Well, Charlie was. He from where I'm from.
Yeah, with Charlie.
I'm from Freeport, Roosevelt, Hempstead. Yeah,
Charlie was a gangster.
Oh yeah, Charlie. He be like, yeah. So I went to it was at Centennial Park. It's crazy out there. You shouldn't even go out there. It's crazy.
Was you on the same time? Rest in peace, Charlie. Was you on the same time?
Yes.
That's what's up. So let's kind of obviously. I hope your brother watched this and
Absolutely.
finds his way.
Oh yeah.
No doubt, because I know it's love there, and that conversation. That's a love thing.
It really is, man. It really is.
Kev, hold on, though. Before we even
Go ahead,
further,
moderator,
hold on.
please.
Before we even go further, right? Probably ain't seen you in person since about 2017.
2017. That is deep.
That is very.
I gotta
owe you
go.
money.
I gotta go.
But and I'm leading into something, right?
Okay.
So for one, Will Smith,
Yeah.
to his credit, crushed Ali as a role.
Murdered it.
Denzel, we know what he's done with Malcolm.
Yes.
Why don't we talk about what you did with Al Green?
Indeed. Absolutely.
Because the last time I saw you, I believe it was the Matrix Studios.
Yep.
We were discussing how you were finishing that and it was prepared to be released.
Absolutely.
So why don't we talk about you as Al Green?
Indeed.
Without the grits.
Without the grits. They actually with the grits and that.
Yeah,
and
that's
that,
right. You gotta have grits.
The grits was in there. Yeah.
Acting. I don't know. They put real hot grits on.
No. So that thank you for that. And that's one of the roles that one of the type of roles that I love to do is those biopics. And Chadwick Boseman, who's one of my favorite actors,
yes.
Rest in peace. I was kind of following his blueprint. He's done so many dope biopics. So Al Green is one that I pushed the envelope for, and right now it's caught in a bunch of litigations, so they don't want to release certain parts of it because Al was in a different state of mind right now. There's a lot going on. But that was something that I wanted to do, and it came out so dope. And it was me as Al Green. All the stuff that happened with him, man, and just seeing the stories and just recreating all of that, just being in a movie with that in that time space and being able to hold a movie in that time space is powerful. And it was dope, man. I enjoyed it. That's one of my favorite things. So from that, I went on actually to play Andre Rison and his life story with Left Eye, and I also played Tupac's brother Mopreem Shakur in the All Eyes on Me. So like
Salute to Mopreem.
Absolutely. Shout out to Mo. And then playing Tretch in the Salt and Pepper movie. So kind of following that blueprint, I didn't slow up. So now, if we don't get, actually, I just had a conversation about that Al Green project 2 weeks ago. If we don't lock off the rest of the rights for because a lot of it has to do with the music, and then the other part is some stuff. You know, he was a pimp back in the days, so he didn't want it. Some stuff he's a preacher now.
Minister now,
So yeah, some stuff he's just like, I don't know. But even though they signed off earlier, it's changing. So if not, we're gonna change the story, and just like how 5 Heartbeats, it really was like the Temptations, but they didn't get the rights, so they swapped it.
Right.
We're gonna do something similar. We're gonna actually do the story, but it won't be Al Green, so it won't be love and happiness.
Did you sing in it?
Yes.
Did you actually sing it?
Yeah.
Something going on.
Well, clearly I can mimic voices, so people are like, "Can you sing though?" I'll be like, I can't sing, but I can sing. I can carry a note enough to make somebody believe. Yeah. Absolutely.
Go ahead, backstage.
And now that you say that, now I remember too. That 2017. Now you brought me back.
Right, because everything I've seen you in since then, I'm sorry, brother, but I see you as the brother who sat next to me
Absolutely.
at DSN.
Absolutely.
And we were talking about, he'd be like, I'm about to do Al Green.
Al Green.
And I mean, we had a good between it was like next up. So it was like me, D, Mocha, Bedtime.
Yep.
Like when we took our breaks, me and you was just chopping it up.
Chopping it up. I remember.
This
I remember
just
now.
a good brother right here. Like that's Al Green. So no matter what
Absolutely.
you do to me, that's Al Green.
You know the best part about that is the ambition. You know what I'm saying? Like from that time, from 2017, the things that I've done and the networks that I've been tied to, and the work that I've done with certain networks with my own projects and own work. It's the ambition. I had it back then. So in that moment, that was still my own ambition. That wasn't Al Green coming to me like, yo, I need to do a story. Or the networks like, I need you to. That was me like,
character right there.
that was me like, I think this story should be told. I'm gonna do this, and then taking my money and creating it. You understand?
Man,
The ambition it was
one
the
black
biggest
man
thing.
to another brother, just to have sat next to you at that time and to follow your career and look at you now and tell people, yeah, that's my guy, but they're like, yeah, whatever, you don't know him. Right? it's a pleasure, brother. It is. It's honestly a pleasure
I appreciate
to see
that,
your
man.
growth, fam.
I appreciate that, brother, deeply for sure.
So that movie's been on the shelf for over 7 years.
That's how it be, man. Some of these networks got movies with big people on them and already attached to them, and they on the shelf. And sometimes they buy that and lock it on the shelf so it won't get out to compete with anything they got. Yeah. Don't show that to Disney or Fox.
Disney's known for doing that.
Like the music business.
There you go. They will buy you and put you right on the shelf. And it's like,
But they paying for it, right?
They paid for it.
You got the dough. Money ain't an issue.
Yeah.
Remember that last Wu-Tang album didn't come out, right?
Yeah.
That's on the shelf.
Right.
They paid a lot of money for that.
Yeah. Wait, didn't he auctioned it?
Yeah.
RZA, I think
that guy went to jail. I forgot the
he
guy
went to
who
jail,
bought
yeah.
it.
He auctioned. He when he got locked up.
He got locked up. He was in some Ponzi stuff.
I don't think the album still didn't come out yet.
Nah, I don't think it came out. They auctioned it.
Yeah, he was the only owner.
Yeah, that was serious. Shout out to RZA too. I'm mad that they didn't. I actually read for a role for the Wu-Tang Saga series, and they went with somebody else. And I was mad, man. I was mad. It's like my favorite group when I was like, this is my favorite. This is Wu-Tang. Like, I love anybody.
Like, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all
like,
take me? What's wrong with
what?
y'all? Yeah.
I didn't get on the Wu-Tang show. I was like, all right.
Do you use stuff like that as motivation? Like, obviously, you have a relationship with these guys, but they made a business decision. But you say, hey, you know what? The competitive nature in you, like, listen. You don't have me in your movie. Something wrong with the movie. Something wrong with you. This ain't about me. It's about y'all. But do you use that as fuel?
Indeed. But I'm also I know the business, so I know it's not as simple as you're better than this guy. It's also like, okay, this guy D. This guy looks a little bit more like him. Right. He may fit the height requirement. He's 5'11". I need to be, so it's so much that goes into it. I don't, from the surface, I can say, oh, you picked him over me. And when I look back at a lot of stuff that I didn't get, I'm looking at stuff like, oh damn, they gave this to Denzel's son, or they gave this to, you know. So it's different roles that you like. Okay, I get it. I can live with that. You know, because at this point in my career, it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. It's like, damn, Chadwick Boseman read for this too. You know, I get that. I get that. You know, and it just comes with the business. You know, it's the nature of the business.
You got to be prepared to take that L.
Indeed.
Which role you wish you really had gotten?
That's a great question. So I read for a role for a superhero called Cyborg.
Oh, in DC.
In DC. So even though I'm a Marvel fan, but check clears. So this role I read, and it came down to two people, and it happened to be a colleague of mine that was in the Purge movie with me, the first Purge. So he read and I read, and they gave it to him. And I was like, dang, I think I look more like Cyborg and you know, than he do. He's light skinned, you know, Cyborg in the comic book, he was brown skinned brother. Like why the hell? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's a racial thing. But shout out to Joe Vaughn. Joe Vaughn is actually a great friend of mine. I stay at his house sometimes when I'm in LA, and you know, that's a good friend of mine that actually booked it. He's a good friend of mine. And I came down to me questioning myself, like, did I not do good? Right. And you know, what could I have done to get it? And then I realized that a lot of stuff also is relationships also, because his manager represents a lot of the writers that were on the project as well. Yeah, so you know, it's more than one dynamic to look at it, but that's one role that I was like, oh, I should have got that.
You know what? You might still can get it because they're recasting all of them.
They are actually. Yeah.
James Gunn. James Gunn got it.
Remember me? We're gonna take another break.
Like, I'm back.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll take another break. We'll come back. Do you use vision boards?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I want to talk about the Jermel Howard vision board. Let's take a quick
Absolutely.
break. Actor extraordinaire Jermel Howard, Non-Free Lounge. Come on.
That's right.
We're back on the ride, Non-Free Lounge, going through the Odyssey with Jermel Howard, actor, producer, director, right?
Absolutely.
So the guy's laying it all out.
And writer.
And writer. How can I forget that?
Indeed.
Producer.
Daddy of two. I mean,
That's right.
brother.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but obviously, you know, before the break, we talked about wanting to know your vision board. Mm-hmm. I know it's something I do, not just for my professional life, but I guess my media life. Where I put things in paper, and sometimes my team, who I love to death, my brother, a guy like my brother, my little sis, I call him, my other brother Mike, and they like, maybe Mike don't hate me, but some of these other ones like, what's this for this guy here? But I would love to know your vision board, your vision. What's next? Is there an Oscar in your vision board? Is there maybe a Screen Actors Guild? What's the vision board like for Jermel?
So to give a little history on vision board, on my vision board. And I would say around 2015 or 15 or 16, I wrote on my vision board, 50 Cent would buy one of my movies, right? So you fast forward.
That's hot.
And I'm on a show with 50 Cent. And now, you know, I was in music before, and I never connected with him. Yeah. So now I am friends with him, and it has nothing to do with music or any of that, you know. So the vision board is powerful, man. Like, it manifested itself as me being on a show with him and working with him, and now I'm shopping shows to him, you know. The last conversation we had, you know, I know he has like 25 meetings of shows that he has right now, so it's a lot on the plate, but he's basically gave me the guidance I needed to start doing what I'm doing. And
talk about something that's, you know, immeasurable.
Absolutely. And then not to mention on that same vision board, I'm going to be a superhero in Marvel, and that manifested as me being on Marvel Luke Cage. Right. You know, and these things were almost a year and change before I even put it on my vision board. So the vision board is powerful and up to date. I have that my new stuff on the vision board now is a huge network is going to sign one of my TV shows, and then I have I'm going to have real estate on whatever planet we go to next. So that's so you get that Mars real estate, you know, uranium, you know, and just I got something that bothers me deeply, peace in a lot of places that we having all kind of genocides and all kind of things that's happening. I got peace in a lot of countries. And what else is on my vision board? I'm going to direct a big project. I wrote that another big role as another reoccurring role on a TV show. I'll get that soon, and that manifested just now. I'm on a show called The Family Business. That's yep. So the new family business is called The Family Business New Orleans, and so it's about the New Orleans family. So yeah, there you go. So the
voodoo and burying
So-
drawers in the backyard, all type in that movie.
the Duncan
Burying
family.
my drawers. In
The hell no, no, not at all. I ain't gonna shout out to New Orleans, man. I didn't think, I'm from New York. We like, yo, listen, we got the best pizza in the world. It's New York, all right? Like, we know what we got. New Orleans has the best pizza in the world.
Why do you think Zion is so fat? The
That-
food in New Orleans will bring.
Hey,
The truth. Let me tell you something. I'm going out that way. Mike's coming. We're going out that
Zion,
way.
the NBA player, for those that don't know.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I said, been out there, and I'm the type of person I gain weight like that. So I'm like, man, just
show your ride. I'll show you ride.
just tell me where the salad bar is at.
Look, he gained 5 pounds.
No beignets,
Right.
none of that. Thank God I can't eat. I'm allergic to seafood, so I can't eat jambalaya and all that. But you can breathe and gain 30 pounds.
No, seriously, man. Right by my hotel was maybe the dopest pizza restaurant I've ever had in my life, and that's huge. I'm from New York, so I'm in there, and I'm first of all, it's like 2 a.m, and there's nothing open, so I'm thinking that I'm ordering Domino's. Right. So, and I don't even eat Domino's. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. Yeah. So I ordered the thing, and they was like, you could come get it. I'm like, y'all open 2 a.m? And he was like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, this is the next block over. And I walked over, and I'm like, this ain't no Domino's. I'm like, this is a real pizza restaurant. And walk in, and there's people there. Yeah. And the guy is like, yeah, yours is here. And he opened the thing. I'm like, this is real pizza. No, he opened the box, and he was like,
I'm going to be up all night.
yeah,
What you had on it?
I had pepperoni, and it's just crazy. I don't even eat pork like that. Like, it was pepperoni, it was pineapples. And he opened the box, and when I bit the pizza, man, this is real pizza. This is not like they manufactured some fake cow. Like, this is the
Some ragu on there.
Yeah, Domino's cheese don't melt. I don't know if y'all know that. But
We love you, Domino's, if you want to be a
Domino,
sponsor.
Papa John's, CC's.
right,
whatever.
the cheese don't melt.
That's not
Thanks
real
for
pizza.
destroying the whole pizza game for us.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just going to
I better
experience.
get Barron's Pizza and ShopRite and then get Domino's.
Right.
Red
This
Baron.
pizza, the cheese melted. Like, you literally, like, wait a minute.
Oh,
This
the stretchy cheese.
the stretchy, and it dissolved.
Pizza's
Oh
like
my
that
God.
2 a.m. That says a lot.
And it dissolved, and it's like, what am I? This is real. Like, y'all not, why this ain't packed in
Make it
here?
sound like it's crack. It's
No,
dissolved.
no, it dissolved like it's gone.
Playing bones again.
So it's like by the time you turn around, the whole pizza was gone.
The pizza was gone, and I ate it, but it's gone.
That's just like you, Rodeo. We was in Las Vegas. You was eating.
What?
What was you eating? Strawberry shortcake and root beer at 5 a.m.
So what?
Wait a minute, that's he said I bought it.
He just
That's
can't
different.
believe he couldn't eat it.
Did it dissolve? Did it dissolve? That's what we tried.
Yeah,
It
just
dissolved.
came out the refrigerator. I was hungry.
I'm trying to live a long life, Jamel. I'm
That's
not
right.
eating.
But he
drinking
was
root beer
mad.
and-
He was like
and-
this.
No, you don't need none of that. Yeah. That's like root beer got like 20 teaspoons of sugar
He
in
don't know better.
for one
Nah, it's
cup.
Diabetes central.
Oh, it's caffeine free, but he ain't say nothing about the sugar though. It's caffeine free.
It
Yeah.
got sugar
It's
in
no
it.
dark matter in it. It's just like Snooch sweet.
Jermel, I can't thank you enough, man. This has been fun. This has been a really good interview. Before we get you out of here, I'd be remiss.
We got to ask him. He would give the 5 actors he would want to work.
Thank you, Dylon. Go ahead and say it.
Hot fire?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to, because again, he's worked with a lot.
Yeah.
But you don't have to give that. My question was, again, on the vision board, the growth. You've done a lot so far, but if you can close your eyes for 5 seconds, beyond acting, beyond the family, what's one thing that you got to accomplish that maybe nobody else knows?
You can let the world know now.
That's why.
That's a great question. So keeping my immediate circle stable.
Be selfish for a second here.
Yeah. So I kept my immediate circles stable. So I had a situation where a few people, more than one, were actually trying to kill themselves. And you know, it's a bad position the world has been left in after COVID and after all of this. So absolutely, and people can't move forward from it. A lot of people can't move forward, and just showing, realigning people with purpose is something I'm good at, and that's what I've been able to do with several people in my circle, is just align them and just lead by example. I've never been the person to be like, I'm giving up and this is it and I'm done. So I have to shine that light on them and show them that this is what you can do. All you got to do is align with your purpose. All you got to do is just tap into what you love, and you know, and I can help you from there. You know what I'm saying? Just like my brother saying, "Oh, I love cars." Okay, I know some people that's in the, like, I just connecting the dots. And one thing about Ghostbusters back in the days, they were saying, we got to get the key maker to the gatekeeper. You know, you know, connect the key maker to the gatekeeper. So I've always been both. You know, the key maker, the gatekeeper. And I think that's something I take pride in, is being able to help psychologically balance my inner circle, because people, they don't have it, man. It's just weird. We're in the weird times. A lot of people just don't have it, you know.
And that, my friend, is the real superhero.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
His name is Jermel Howard.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for this interview.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. We could reach out to you. You know?
Yeah. So you can, all social media platforms, Jermel Howard, Jermel Howard, Howard, and that's on all platforms. It'll probably come up like The Real Jermel Howard or one of them. You'll see, and you'll know. And also, for what it's worth, is on BET Plus right now. Bid for Love is on BET right now, and I Got Problems is
that
on BET.
sounds like a movie I should have been in. I
got It's dope.
Every black man could be in that movie.
That's
my documentary.
That's exactly why it made a lot of sense.
I got problems.
Like, I got problems.
Jermel Howard, ladies and gentlemen. 9 Feet Lounge, take a quick break. Come on back. Keep it tuned in. The best team in radio. Don't go nowhere.